All right. So I want to go over this because I want to first document what it's like to lose. Second, I also want to kind of throw in some psychology for you, so therefore you're able to like see how the process really works and how to handle shit like this. Okay. So originally my bias was all right, cool. So I have this point A right here, right? This high in the market, and then after that, I have my point B right here, right? So originally, I was looking on this on my phone, right, opposed to looking at this on my laptop. My bias was okay, cool. I see this lower high developed here, and now this is a low, right? So I'm thinking, okay, cool, this is a lower low. But I did not take into account that this is the low right here, but this right here is a higher low. I did not take that into account. So that was my first mistake. So with that being the case, this is a bullish indicator, not a bearish one. So now we have that on the 1 hour. The 1 hour is a higher and stronger time frame than it is on the 15 minute. So on the 15 minute, you're gonna see that okay, cool. We have this high, lower high being developed. And again, I just overlooked this higher low that was right here because I didn't take into account the fact that this is a low and this is a higher low. So the first thing that we need to do is always mark up higher highs, higher lows, because you don't want to make the mistake of having an invalidated setup and taking the trade just because of lack of identification, right? The second mistake that I made is that this is not necessarily always going to be true because I've actually experienced it before, which is this candle right here is just the impulse candle because news just came out. I'll show you right here. So news came out, red folder news came out at 7:30. Now, here's the thing about red folder news. It literally comes and it goes. It comes and it goes, right? Literally 7:30 and then 15 minutes afterwards, which is about 7:40 or 7, like 15 minutes afterwards. Once the candle is done printing, basically, after that, everything kind of goes back to normal. Like, once this candle is done printing, then that'll be it. But what I did was is that I got in right here on a higher low, and well, not on a higher low for a buy, but I got right here. This was my entry. My entry was right here because I was thinking basically I had more than likely probably got into early, which is boom, my my entry was here, my stop loss was back here. This is the higher low that I'm looking for, and then, or this is the lower high that I'm looking for. And again, I didn't recognize this higher low. So the first thing that we need to do, or the first thing that, we need to do, I need to do, you need to do is when you get to the charts, make sure you have a process. Make sure you have a process of, again, vetting out exactly what you're about to trade. So if it requires you to take the path arrow, go here, and boom, you know what I'm saying? Just do these. That will help out a lot because you'll notice stuff and be like, wait a minute, that's there, right? Marking up is one thing, but then also, again, just having your shit identified can help you, avoid losses that are unnecessary. Because I'm still very confident in the fact that this, yes, it will continue to sell, but this is getting caught on the correction, and this is what I'm talking about. This is what I was trying to cover over within the videos that I had previously with, those other pairs, which is being able to know when the correction ends. Because if you get in while the correction is happening and you're expecting a continuation, you're going to get slapped right in the face. And that's exactly pretty much what happens. And of course, I use it in an analogous way. But don't take it personal either. Do not take a loss personally. Um, you are not invalidated as a trader. Your setup is. Okay? Once you understand that your setup is invalidated, you're able to take yourself out of this stuff because at the end of the day, it's still uncertainty. Um, Also, be aware of how much you manage your risk, right? Me, I went over my risk for today. So with that being the case, instead of me trying to, well, let me get that money back, right? Because that within itself will show you a mentality of how you view money. Trading shows you how you view money. If you lose this setup and you're like, fuck, I gotta get that shit back, man, because you're starting to think of bills, you're starting to think of this, you're starting to think of that, you're starting to think of etc. so forth. You're in a mindset of scarcity, which all of a sudden brings pain. So here's what's crazy: the next time that you trade, before you press enter on the trade or buy or sell on the trade, you're going to automatically start thinking of all the shit that happened prior to you hitting that same button, right? But you had lost. And it's because you're thinking, I need this, I need this, I need this. You need to come into trading with a very detached mindset. When you come into trading with a detached mindset, you're able to see things completely different. So, this is just a quick video on how to process a loss, and this is live. This is dead ass 7:30, 7:40 in the morning, and I'm just documenting this for myself and documenting this for you. So therefore, as you go through this shit, right, you're able to see, okay, cool. Like whenever I do take a loss, because there'll be moments where I just forget. Let me just right. You'll lessen your losses for sure, right? If you do what I just told you to do, which is not do what I did. Mark your stuff. Mark your higher highs, your higher lows. Mark your lower lows, your lower highs. Then you'll be able to avoid easy losses like this or quick losses like this, right? And also, don't adjust your stop loss either. Remember, have a set stop loss, have a set TP. This was my TP1. This was going to be my TP2 and my trade out, right? So now, we'll see what happens, right? Um, we'll see what happens. I may or may not get back into it, just for today. But again, it just depends on the setup. I'm not even gonna lie to you. If things look clean on the way down, then we'll re-enter the market. But if not, then we'll wait until tomorrow, because tomorrow is Friday. There will be a setup on Friday. There's always gonna be setups everywhere. Um, and yeah, bro. But this is how you process a loss. You're not a bad trader whatsoever. Even the best traders lose, literally. Even the best traders lose, and that's just how it is. The less trades that you take, the better. The more quality setups that you have, the better. Don't be, fucking James Harden from the field and just keep chucking up shots. Don't be Keontae George from the field and just chuck up shots and have 24 shots a game, but you making only 10. You know what I'm saying? Less is more. So make sure that you just identify your setups, and once you identify your setups, by marking the higher highs, the higher lows, and practicing that, you'll get way better at avoiding like a fake out. You'll be way better at avoiding, small stuff like this. Like had I looked back and said, this is his higher low, I wouldn't have took that trade, because I'm like, wait a minute, if it's a higher low, that means the price action is still bullish, and I'm looking for bearish price action. So what should have happened is it should have been here, here, then here, right? That's what should have happened. But the problem is, I'm looking at the 15-minute and I saw this, and I'm like, okay, cool. Lower low, lower high. But 1 hour. What does it show on the 1 hour? Because a higher time frame is always going to help you. That's just a higher low. So it's always good. Let me have that last note of thumb as well. It's always good to start from the higher time frames whenever you're getting ready to look at the charts for the day. If you start off on the 15-minute, you're going to get faked out. You're going to be subjected to a lot of fake outs. You're going to be subjected to a lot of shit that you're like, bro, that doesn't make any sense. So the first thing is one. Hold up. Bro, what are you doing? Okay. The first thing is one, mark up your chart for higher highs, higher lows, or lower highs, lower lows. Second, start at a higher time frame. Always. If you're going to be trading during the day, you're more than likely going to be starting off at the 1 hour. If you're trading and you plan on holding a couple days, you're going to start off at the 4 hour. Okay. So same day trading is 1 hour. Multiple days is 4 hour daily. All right. So let me make sure I write that down for you. Same day equals 1 hour. Multiple days equals 4 hour. And that's just pretty much all you do. But yeah, quick video, not as long. It sucks that I did lose today, right? Because that would be my only trade for the day due to the fact of how much size I did put on this trade. But I had a lot of confidence in it. And I stick by my confidence, and there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, that's just pretty much what it is. The good news about this is that now that I see this getting ready to hit the golden ratio, all that means to me is that once I see on the higher time frame what I need to see, then I'll just enter in the trade again, and then I'll make that money back plus more, right? Or I'll be able to get into a setup for a buy on GU, okay? Because this is GU, or GBPUSD is just known as GU. But yeah, bro, that's it.